Give us an example of how love, your LEAP model, has been incorporated into an organization that you've worked with, and how it might have created a competitive advantage for your clients.
Let me share with you one of my favorite examples of this, because the turnaround was so dramatic. This is an example of a company that went from, and this is a term that we're using a lot nowadays, a toxic environment to something quite different. And it's not a very sexy business. It's a company called Trailer Bridge in Jacksonville, Florida. They are a shipping company. So they primarily ship between the mainland and mostly Puerto Rico and Dominican Republic, right? So they ship containers across the water. It was a really toxic place. I mean, people hated working there, for one thing. The only reason the customers did business there was because they were cheap. They went through bankruptcy. They burned through 4 CEOs in 3 years. So that's what the place was like. Mitch Luciano took over. The board asked him to take over and turn this place around. And Mitch, as it turns out, was a huge fan of The Radical Leap and my other books, Radical Edge and Greater Than Yourself. And I hadn't met him at this point. But he said, okay, I'll take over, but I'm a love guy. So he's telling the board, right? You got to let me do this the way I want to do it. So he started out by, first of all, he refused the title of CEO because, for one thing, it had a lot of baggage, but more important, he told his employees, I have to earn that title. And he just went about the work of creating an environment. He really believed in people, and he let them know that, but he created an environment that he wanted people to love working in. So he did all kinds of things. Some were big, some were small, some were symbolic. He got rid of all the name tags because he said, we're a 120-person company. We should know each other's names, right? So he encouraged people to get to know each other as human beings, not just that person that works down the hall. He lowered the heights of the cubicles so people could actually look at each other. He put in, the usual, the Silicon Valley stuff, even though they're in Jacksonville, right? Foosball tables and ping pong tables, and he brought in a food truck every Thursday to feed the whole company so people could have lunch together. And then they looked at their customer policies. So for example, they're a shipping company, as I said. So they had a policy in the past that said, unless the container is at least 75% full, we will not sail. So you're a customer, you're shipping a car to Puerto Rico. You've told your family that the car is going to arrive there on X date, and then it doesn't leave. Why doesn't it leave? Because they're not 75% full yet. Well, what does that say about how we feel about our customers? So he posed the question. If we loved our customers, what would we do? We would sail. Now, the reason we didn't sail in the past is because we lose money on that shipment, right? But we told them we're going to ship it on that date, so we ship on that date. Well, now, fast forward, and there's probably 1,000 other things that they've done there, but they have been voted #1 and #2 best place to work in the city of Jacksonville. The last 2 years, their revenues have exceeded the previous 25 years of the company combined. They're expanding all over the country. And if you sit down with Mitch and ask him, what's the bottom line, what is this? It's cultivating love. Their employees are now their best recruiters. They don't spend any money on recruiters anymore because their employees are their best recruiters because they want people to join them there. It just goes on and on. To say that love has no place in business, to me, it's insane. And if I could be so presumptuous as to quote myself, it's just damn good business.